Good day, folks, and we're back in the kitchens again today, and I'm going to show you how to cook spaghetti bolognese. That's the ever popular legendary spaghetti bolognese, or the spag bol as it's sometimes nicknamed. It's been on the cards for a while. I had a lot of requests to make this dish, so now's the opportunity for me to cook it for you. So here we go. We're going to start off with the ingredients. Let's take you around to the ingredients now. Okay, now first of all, that's everything sort of prepared for you. It's pre-prepared. I managed to get them all prepared there just before the camera started to roll. But everything's there that you'll need, that you'll require. So I'll just go through the stages. But the very first thing that I'm going to do, and I know that people that follow my kitchen cooking, is I'm going to pre-cook the meat, the mince. Okay? Now, when I say pre-cook, put it in this bowl. I like to pre-cook the meat because it eliminates the fat, gets rid of all that excess grease and fat, because you don't want an awful lot of that running around in your meal, because we're going to be using olive oil anyway. Okay, so we're going to pop this into the microwave oven. In goes. I always like to put a lid on the food to stop it splashing. Doesn't take long, maybe 5 minutes. Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to point out the vegetables there that we've prepared to go into the spaghetti bolognese. Now, we have some bell pepper, we've got some coriander, we've got some chili peppers. I've used red and green for this one. We've got some rosemary. I like to leave them on the sprig because when you chop them up finely, sometimes they can go all over the place and it makes a hell of a mess. But when you finish cooking, all you need to do is take these branches out. Okay. Then we've got bay leaves. We've got some carrots. We've got some garlic. We've got some mushrooms. I like mushrooms. We have some onions, and of course we have a beef stock there because it's a minced beef dish. You can use any kind of stock you like, vegetarian stock or chicken, whatever you like. Now, as I say, that's the ingredients there, but you can use any type of vegetables that you like. Okay, if you can use any kind that you like. The reason I haven't put any tomatoes in this is because we've got enough tomatoes going in. We've got the tomato passata. I highly recommend this tomato passata. That's all the tomatoes that you're going to need. And of course we've got the thickener, the Italian tomato puree, which is the thickener. Okay, we're going to put some of that as well. Bit of basil going in. I like basil. Oregano, of course. The ever popular oregano makes a nice Italian flavour and taste to it, and of course the beef cube which is in. Parmesan cheese, we're going to use that later on as the final top up. Okay, so that's all your ingredients, and of course not to forget the olive oil. We're going to be using the olive oil as well. Now, just waiting on this. Of course, we're going to need some boiling water. So water going in now. And a bowl, the large bowl. Okay. It's always handy to keep one of these large Pyrex bowls amongst your cooking equipment, because 9 times out of 10 for the microwave cooking, especially if you're doing all-in-ones. These are fantastic, fantastic bowls. And I've got the smaller one in the microwave oven, which you'll see in a moment. So, we're nearly there. And when I go after this, after these few seconds, it should be okay. Now, you don't need to actually pre-cook your mince. If you like a lot of oil and a lot of fats in it, you don't need to pre-cook it. But I like mine as healthy as possible. So that's why I always pre-cook. Well, I'm not too bad. A lot of it's mainly water, so we're not too bad off. So that's going to be fine. And all you need to do is to take it out, pre-cooked Pyrex and into the main dish. Goes into the main dish. It's as easy as that. See that? And that's what's left. That's all the fats and things that's left. You don't want that. Now, let's chop this up. And it's very, very easy after we get this done. I'll show you how everything falls in place. You don't need to be too fussy, as long as you can get it chopped up mouthful size if you like. Now you see how nice and healthy that looks with all the oils and fats pre-cooked out of it, you see? Now, the rest of it's dead easy. We start putting the ingredients in now, because this is very similar to the all-in-one combination meal that I did the last time, the all-in-one pasta vegetable dish. Very similar to it, but it's a bolognese we're doing. Now, not forgetting you vegetarians, if you want a vegetarian, all you do is leave out this mince, or leave out the meats, whatever you're using, and just use your vegetables. Okay, you maybe be able to add a bit of spinach to it and beef it up a bit and stuff like that. But for you vegetarians, that's what to use. Because you can still use all these things here, all these ingredients, and of course the tomatoes, etc, etc. Okay, but today, spaghetti bolognese. So here we go, let's get started. I'm going to start putting the ingredients in, and we'll take it from there. The first thing we should do is to flatten this pasta, the spaghetti. Now, when I say flatten it, when you put it into a bowl, it sometimes sticks out. So all we're doing is cooking it for a short period of time, a few minutes, just to flatten it. Now, I'm using a whole meal spaghetti. I like the whole meal, but you can use the regular. You can use the ordinary pasta, spaghetti, etc. But I'm using this one. It's the whole meal spaghetti that it is there. Now, you see it's sticking up. So what we'll want to do is we want to flatten that. And the way you're going to be flattening it is put the boiling hot water in. And as you can see, it's starting to flatten already. In fact, we might not need to put it into the mic because it's flattening out with the heat. You see that? All that pasta and spaghetti is flattening out with the heat, so you'll be able to get it right into the the cooking dish. That's excellent, first class. But as I say, if it doesn't go down, just pop it in a microwave oven for a few minutes, and that flattens it down so you can put it into the bowl. And that's your spaghetti in there. Now, spaghetti and pasta is always a good indicator as to if your meal is properly cooked or finely cooked, because it comes al dente, nice and soft, and you can actually see it softening up and going soft. But when it's al dente, or whatever dente you like, that's a good sign that everything else is cooked. Okay, so that's the spaghetti in. Now, ingredients going in now, and starting off with the carrots. Just plop it in. Don't be fussy with regulation measurements or amounts. Just plop it in. That's your carrots in, and putting the garlic in now. Chopped garlic. Now, as I say, I prepared all this before we commenced the filming, so it's all been pre-prepared. It's very easy to prepare. You need to know how to do it. Just a good chopping knife and chop everything up. And putting in the mushrooms, and the onions, the bell pepper, some coriander. You could actually leave a little for the final finale if you like, a little bit of coriander just to top it off when it's ready to plate. But put this lot in first just now. In fact, I might just leave that out so we can put it in the top. There we go. Right. And your chili peppers. I've used green and red. A lot of people just like to use the red, but I'm using a combination of green and red peppers. And the bay leaves. Just a couple, one or two bay leaves. Now, as I say, this is a, you know, it's not a textbook thing. As I say, you just put in what you like. If you like different kind of vegetables, and by all means use them. But this is a sort of the norm, so to speak. You know what normally goes into it, and that's the rosemary branches, little twigs going in now. Just plop them in. You don't need to be fussy, because that'll give it a good flavour. And when you finish cooking, if you don't want a mouthful of branch, it's easy enough to take out just after you finish cooking. Okay. Now, and of course, don't forget stock cube. Plop that in. Some olive oil. Just a dash of oil. And a little bit of oregano. Very popular in Mediterranean meals, the oregano. And as I say, I like parsley. I don't know why, but I'll just put a little bit of parsley in here as well. Right, that's all your ingredients in, and we're all ready to pop it into the microwave oven. And we've got your mince is in, minced beef is in, your spaghetti's there, all these vegetables that I showed you, they're all in, your stock cubes in, touch of olive oil, and we're ready to go, ready to cook. Okay, so here we go. best to put a splash pad in. There we go. Easy enough to pick up. So there we go. I'm going to start off, put that in, I'll say about half an hour, 30 minutes. Not even that, no, 20 minutes. Put it on a high. So we'll leave that in for 25 minutes, see how we go on. Now you'll be saying, what's happened to the tomatoes? Well, the tomatoes will be going in, but I want these vegetables to cook down for about 10 minutes before I add the tomatoes and the tomato puree. That's my way of cooking anyway, I like it that way. You could have put the tomatoes and the puree in straight away, it's entirely up to yourself. But that's the way that I like to do it. Now folks, that's been in for about 10 minutes now, it's time to give it a stir and put the tomatoes puree in. It's coming along nicely. So we're going to give it a stir now. Everything's just coming along quite nicely. And that's the reason I like to have the vegetables cooking, the vegetables and everything else, cooking a little while, 10 minutes, before I put the tomatoes in, to give it a bit of a stir and get everything mixed in properly. So tomatoes going in, as I say, I'm using an Italian tomato passata. It's very, very good indeed. It's not from a tin, I don't like using tin tomatoes, this is very good. So in goes, put it on. And you can buy these in any supermarket. It's a 500 gram. Buy them in any supermarket at all. Vine ripened as well. Made with plump tomatoes. Hand selected at their sweetest. So there we go. And as I say, I'm going to put a little bit of the thickener in. I like using this thickener. This is the tomato thickener. Again, you can buy this anywhere in any supermarket. Tomato puree. Some of that's going in, and it's a good thickening agent. You can use it to thicken your dish, your sauce. That's going in. This is about a half. I used half of this tub on another meal the other day, but putting half in, that should be ample. It should be enough. So there we go. That's that. And again, final stir before it goes in for its final cook. As you can see, the tomatoes are starting to blend in with the ingredients. Very easy to make, very simple. So that's us ready to go. Now, if you want to thicken it up a little bit and put more tomatoes in, it's entirely up to yourself. How much tomato you put in, but we'll go along with this and see how we go on with it. And if it does need a little bit more tomato, then we'll put it in. So, going in for its final cook now, folks. And back into the microwave. Splash lid going on. Always like to use a splash lid because it keeps your microwave clean. It avoids all that splashing about and mucking up all your microwave walls. So that goes in. And we've left there with it 19 minutes. So we'll leave it for the 19, see how we go on. If it needs a little bit more, we'll put it in. But that's in for the 19 minutes at the present moment in time. But you've got to remember, we had another 10 minutes on top of that, what was in the pot. So here we go, folks, just leave that in there. Let's see how we got on with it. Now folks, we're going to give it a check. She's been in there for about, what, 20-25 minutes so far. So we'll pull it out and see how she is. Now, be careful when you're lifting in and out of the microwave, because some of these dishes are very heavy, especially when they're full up with the ingredients. Okay, so that's it there. Now, it looks very nice. You could actually have it the way it is, but I like my sauce nice and thick. So I'm going to put some more thickener in there. As I say, it's nice the way it is if you like light thin sauce. I like a thick sauce, so I'm going to add a little bit more of my thickener, the Italian tomato puree. Intense and rich. It's looking very good just now though. Looking good. This will thicken it even more. I really love my sauces thick, especially in this type of meal dish. Stir that in. Now that won't take long to cook up, to thicken up. So it's starting to thicken up already. Oh, you can make a separate sauce if you like. Make a separate sauce and put it on top of your meal when it was all done, if you like it really, really thick. But that should do the trick. Going back in for 10 minutes. Now folks, that's been approximately 30-35 minutes it's been in cooking, and I think we've arrived. Let's check and see. Looking promising, it's looking good. All the cooking it requires. As you can see, that little bit of tomato puree just thickened it up nicely. Yes, it's looking good. So there we are folks, that's your spaghetti bolognese. Now, I know that you're saying, oh, the spaghetti should be cooked separate and all that and the next thing, but the thing is, the reason we've cooked it this way is to make it easy, you know, to give the mums a nice, easy, or the dads that are doing the cooking, an easier time, an easier job, an easier task, you see? See how thick that sauce is, look, see how thick it is. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now we're ready to plate up. I always like to put my spaghetti in first, as much spaghetti as I can in first anyway. Spaghetti going in. Don't be worried about these lumps of meat, because, as I say, they're mouthfuls. Some of these vegetables in. And if you want to put some added sauce on it, you can do that, no problem. Now I've made quite a substantial amount here, because again I'm showing you what can be done for family catering. Some of the sauce going in. Sauces. And you have enough there to feed quite a few people. Okay. You can make a smaller portion if you like, if it's just for yourself or just a couple of people, just cut down on the ingredients, cut down on your sauce, etc, etc. So there we go folks, that's a lovely easy cook spaghetti bolognese, or spug ball as they call it. And a little bit of Parmesan cheese going on top. if you like pepper. Mix that up. Lovely. So there we go, folks. Easy spag bol, or easy spaghetti bolognese as they call it. And let's have a taste. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. It's a bit hot. Give it 2-3 minutes to chill down. So there we go. That's your easy all-in-one spaghetti bolognese spag bol, and very easy to make, as you can see. Enough there to feed a whole family. So there we are, folks. If you ever get fed up with eating your Christmas turkey dinners on Christmas Day, at least you've got a nice dish for your Boxing Day if you want to cook your spaghetti bolognese. Compliments of the season. Greetings, Christmas greetings, and I hope you all have a good Christmas. Although I know a lot of people won't be having a good Christmas, but we've just got to do the best we can, as this COVID is still among us and we're still trying to fight it. Vaccines here, but we'll just have to see how we get on with that. Okay, folks, so enjoy your spag bol, your spaghetti bolognese, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to all of you. See you on the next journey. Bye for now.